You guys like cat tattoos, but most people just get one because they're cute, right? If you're gonna get one anyway, might as well know this story so you can tell your friends later. It's actually a pretty wild one. So back in old Japan, there was this ukiyo-e printer who was obsessed with cat. His studio was always full of cats. And when one died, he had literally take it to a temple and set up a little shrine for it. Yeah, that obsessed. That cat crazy artist, his name's UTAGAWA Kuniyoshi. And the piece I'm showing you today in his Nihon Daimon and the cat. You've got the samurai Nihon Daimon, and these cats standing on their hind legs, dancing with a towel on their heads. Super cute. But there's something hiding in the back of this picture. What that twist is, I will show you in a bit. So subscribe and let's talk cats today. Konnichiwa, Yoshi desu. This is why you should get this tattoo and deep dive series, where we dig into ukiyo-e and what your erasment design actually mean. And today it's cats. Ever noticed something while looking up cat tattoo design? Like, why are Japanese style cats so popular? Turns out there's a reason. Here's a fun one. Japan didn't even have cats originally. They came over from China around the 6th century to protect Buddhist sculptures. But somehow they ended up taking over the whole country. I mean, from the Manekineko to cat cafes. Japan is basically cat heaven now, even cat island. Anyway, cats are just woven into everything in Japan. You can escape it. People believe a Manekineko alone bring luck to a shop. And cats show up all over ukiyo-e too. Same with the tattoos. What comes to mind when people pick a cat design? Luck, cuteness, or just I like a cat. But there's a whole other side to this, the total opposite. This piece is called Nihon Daimon and the Cat. It was painted 1847 and it's a triptych, 3 panels that connect. And remember, I said something's hiding in the back. Here it is. Look at that. Total night and day. Those dancing cats up front and this huge face. The BAKENEKO story behind this painting comes from an old kabuki play. And honestly, it's pretty twisted and brutal. So there's this couple. They set off with their baby looking for the wife's sister who'd gone off to sell herself to pay for their sick mom's medicine. Night falls and they end up staying at this rundown temple outside town. And there, they run into the mother they thought was dead, still wearing the burial robes, no less. But this mother, actually a cat in disguise. When night comes, 2 cats next to her jump up and start dancing, just like those cute ones from the front of the painting. Then one of their travel companions happens to peek into the room and catches the mother's with her tongue stretches out, licking oil from the lamp. Her cover's long. And of course, this guy just happened born in the ear of the rat. Perfect prey for a cat. So she devours him right there, horribly. But weird twist starts here. Turns out there was this love triangle over the husband, and the wife once put a horrible curse on her rival, and that rival turned out it was her own sister. The one she like, subscribe. The one she'd been searching for this whole time. The curse left her sister's face horribly disfigured, and she ended up selling herself, wandering around, dying miserably. The second this insane truth comes out, the husband just declares the marriage over right there, and the wife's so shocked she drops dead on the spot. And right then, this mystery hand reaches out from behind the paper door and drags her body and the baby off into the dark. And then the cat monsters say one last thing. I'm the spirit of this land's cat stone, fused with the grudge of the sister who died so miserably. And with that, she just vanished. And all that left is this huge cat-shaped rock sitting there alone. See why this was the image that came from mind for Edo era people when they thought of cats. Sure, they are cute, but underneath there was always this creepy monster face and some bloody revenge story hiding. Hey, cat owners, does your cat have a short tail? You might wanna be a little suspicious. This might give you chills. There is this story from Japan. If a cat lived past 13 years or got too heavy, that was a warning sign it might turn into a bakeneko. Or its tail would split in two and it became a nekomata. And if humans mistreated them, they'd come back for revenge. That's why people were scared. But did everyone actually get rid of their cats out of fear? Nah, most people just laugh it off. But some people actually did something about it. They'd literally cut kittens' tail off just in case. Pretty brutal, right? And that's supposedly why Japanese bobtail have short tails today. Believe it or not. So if you've got a short-haired cat in front of you right now, that might literally be left over from someone's ancestor getting scared and grabbing scissors. Something like that. Anyway, but was it only Japan people who were this scared of cats? No, turns out the whole world was like this. In Egypt, killing a cat could get you the death penalty. Even by accident, the whole village would come after you. In Ireland, they believe killing a cat curses you with 17 years of bad luck. And in Celtic folklore, if a black cat curled up next to a body, it would steal the person's soul. So this idea that cats are scared and you will pay for mistreating them, that was everyone in the world. But that's where it split. In Europe, these suspicions actually led to mass killing of cats. But Japan, they kept right on painting cats, even while being scared of them. The guy who painted this, that's Kuniyoshi, and he's not just some guy who liked cats. If you are into Ilejimi, you gotta know this name. He's basically the father of Ilejimi design. This piece that first made him famous was the 108 Heroes of Suikoten, where he covered their heroes' bodies in tattoos. And this print is actually credited with kicking off the whole tattoo trend among people in Edo. Here's another fun bit. You know those prints of kabuki actor and courtesans? Those were basically like Japanese pop star merch photos back then. They were the best-selling prints, period. But right around then, the shogunate rolls out the temple reforms, basically trying to ban these prints outright. So guess what they did? The artists just started swapping the actor's face out for cats instead. And Kuniyoshi was the best at it. So around this time, cats become this stand-in, a way to say who the actor really was without actually saying it. In a way, they turned real people into bakeneko. Pretty cool, right? So what's the real meaning behind the bakeneko, a cat tattoo? It's duality, changing, and metamorphosis. Most of the time, it's endlessly cute and soft, but underneath, there is a nature. Then cat turned into this huge, sharp-clawed monster at any moment. Kinda like those Edo-era actors hiding behind the cat mask to dodge the government's eyes. So next time you see someone with a cute little cat tattoo, you might wanna take a second look. because who knows what face the cat's hiding behind it.
Like, subscribe.
お疲れ様でした。